friends, we continue to follow the events on the front lines of Ukraine and Russia as well as the news. Yesterday's events in Russia shocked everyone. Prigozhin made a powerful move, almost reaching Moscow, but he turned his columns around when he realized they could all be destroyed. But before we begin, please give this video a like, check your subscription to the channel and click the bell icon to stay updated on all the latest news. As reported, following a call from Belarusian President Lukashenko, Prigozhin agreed to retreat from Moscow. Nobody expected such disgrace again. The Putin gang did exactly what they wanted. Let's listen to Prigozhin's statement together.
ВК «Вагнер» хотели расформировать. Мы вышли 23 июня на марш справедливости. За сутки мы прошли, не доходя 200 километров до Москвы. За это время мы не пролили ни одной капли крови наших бойцов. Сейчас наступил тот момент, когда кровь может пролиться. Поэтому, понимая всю ответственность за то, что будет пролита русская кровь с одной из сторон, мы разворачиваем свои колонны и уходим в обратном направлении в полевые лагеря согласно плану.
It seems like another show from the Russians, but its true purpose remains unclear for now. However, it's certain that Prigozhin has disgraced himself because all those who supported his movement are in shock. Most of them believed these words about fighting corruption in Russia and restoring order, but now he simply stopped and turned back, forgetting the purpose of his march to Moscow. Of course, everyone understands that even if he was promised security guarantees, it doesn't mean he won't be removed at any convenient moment. Moreover, Peskov already announced that the criminal case against Prigozhin will be dropped and supposedly he will head to Belarus. Overall, the circus continues, and in the meantime, the utility workers are already burying the trenches they dug on their way to Moscow. It's unclear why they had to ruin the asphalt. Strelkov said that Prigozhin should face punishment for his actions. It is reported that with Prigozhin's help, 6 combat helicopters were shot down, including 2 of the most valuable helicopters in Russia, as well as an airplane with its crew. But regardless of everything, one thing remains unchanged. There was a coup, and it was successful. The second most powerful person in the country has been forcibly removed from power. Meanwhile, the armed forces of Ukraine didn't waste time and launched a powerful offensive, taking advantage of the fact that some troops were transferred to Russia. Yesterday evening, Hanna Mahler officially announced that the Ukrainian armed forces have launched a counteroffensive in the Bakhmut area on 6 fronts: Оріхово-Василівка, Богданівка, Ягідне, in Bakhmut itself, and in the outskirts of Lashchinivka and Kurdyumivka. It is not very noticeable, but recently the Ukrainian armed forces managed to advance a few streets in Kurdyumivka. The battles continue, and in the coming days there will likely be new advances. It was also officially announced that offensive actions are taking place in the Zaporizhia direction. According to the official statement, the fighting is taking place in the Bilogorivka, Novopokrovka, not far from Robotine and 3 kilometers from Nastoyenka. However, from unofficial sources, we know that the Ukrainian armed forces are already advancing a little further. In the Vuhledar direction, the Ukrainian armed forces have repelled all attempts by the occupiers to break through to Makarivka, Vuhledar and Zolota Niva. Therefore, shelling continues along the entire front line, and here the Ukrainian armed forces have temporarily halted their active offensive. Unfortunately, apart from Urozhaina being liberated, there haven't been any significant new successes yet. It hasn't been officially confirmed that Urozhaina is liberated, so we'll have to wait for further updates. As it seems, breaking through in any case is very difficult, and the difficult confrontation continues. In the direction of Kherson, shelling continues, and the Ukrainian armed forces are also striking Russian bases in the rear and destroying them in large numbers. However, this hasn't yet helped stop the shelling. As a result, one person was killed and one is trapped under the rubble in a shelled residential building. In the Avdiivka direction, the occupiers are unable to break through to Avdiivka and consolidate their positions on the outskirts. The Ukrainian armed forces successfully repel all attacks and the front line remains unchanged. Further south in Marinka, battles continue. The Russians are sending new reinforcements into the fight every day, but there are no changes on the front line and the shelling continues. Additionally, the Ukrainian armed forces claim that the Kadyrovцы who were in Marinka were also removed from their positions and apparently sent to Russia to fight against Prigozhin. Meanwhile, the number of casualties from the fragments of a Russian rocket hitting a house in Solomyansky district of Kiev has risen to 5 people, and rescue workers are on site. It has also been announced that Germany, in cooperation with the United States, intends to transfer 45 more Gepard self-propelled anti-aircraft systems to Ukraine by the end of the year to strengthen its air defense. This was stated in an interview with Welt am Sonntag by the head of the Situation Center on Ukraine Affairs at the Ministry of Defense, Brigadier General Christian Freudin. According to the publication, Germany has already transferred 34 Gepard systems to Ukraine and another 15 will be delivered in the coming weeks. In Voronezh, the oil depot that was blown up by Prigozhin soldiers was finally extinguished during the night. It is specified that as a result of the fire, a 5,000 cubic meter tank of aviation fuel was destroyed, covering an area of 800 square meters. There are reportedly no casualties and the fire was extinguished at 20 minutes to 1 on Sunday. 97 Russians and 31 units of equipment were involved in fighting the fire. And as we can see, the news of the past few days will be somehow connected to Prigozhin and his coup, so let's take a little break from that. The Ministry of Defense of Britain has assessed the offensive operations of the Ukrainian forces on 3 key fronts, which show gradual but confident tactical progress. This was stated in an intelligence review released by the British Ministry of Defense on Sunday, as reported by European Truth. British analysts noted that in recent days the Ukrainian forces have regrouped and are conducting large-scale offensive operations in 3 main fronts in the south and east of Ukraine. The Ukrainian forces are using the experience of the first 2 weeks of the counteroffensive to improve their tactics in storming the deep and well-prepared Russian defense, according to the department. Ukrainian units are achieving gradual but confident tactic progress on key fronts. That's all for me. Thank you for watching and we'll see you tomorrow with fresh news. Bye bye!